it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Up and Adam Show. As you can probably see by my shirt, I don't know if anybody can see this. Yes, we're talking about the Amazing Awesome Powers trilogy today, along with some other stuff as well, with the lovely Mindy Sterling. I'm so excited. Thank you, Mindy, for joining us. Hope you're
Thanks
having a
for
great
having
day so
me.
far.
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited. Honestly, you're one of those people I've always wanted to talk to because these movies and everything you've done, even in like iCarly, they're things I grew up watching. So it's like a kind of like a burst of nostalgia just talking to you, going over these amazing projects you've done. So it's exciting. So yeah, thank you once again.
Oh, well, thank you. It makes me feel really good too that people remember me or they know who I am. And and those were amazing times in my life. And I got really very, very lucky to be a part of a lot of the things that I've done. So thank you. I appreciate that.
What's really interesting about you is that you're known obviously for being so funny and vibrant in everything you do, right? Because you're also a comedian and everything. But I read online that you were initially a very shy person, and growing up, you used the arts as a means to break out of your shell. But when did you notice you had a talent for what you were doing, and when did you actively start pursuing it?
Wow. Okay. Well, it's definitely true. I was kind of shy and I did a play. I did a play in school. It was like the sixth grade. And but before that, to get to that place, I don't know what happened, or somebody, introduced me to the theater, or but I realized because I was always like, oh, if Mindy has to be Mindy, that's where, that it got really, really self-doubt. If Mindy could be someone else and take all the and that person take all the responsibility of what they do and say, that made sense to me. So I kind of just, learned how to then be other people. And oh, you can get up there and you can, and then I started loving the laughter. I started loving the people I was working with. I thought, oh my God, the thespians, the theater people, they're crazy too. And so yeah, it just was kind of, it sort of just happened. I mean, my dad he was in the business. In fact, he was I, I think of one of Shecky Green's first partners.
Okay.
And yeah, and so he was in the business and not shy at all. And my parents were so supportive of what I did. It was never like, the only thing that my mom said to me, just make sure that you take a typing class just in case this doesn't work out.
As every parent always says, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, do something. Yeah, have something, second waiting in the wings. But which I did, and I'm not a great person on the web, and but yeah, so I did that, and they were just always so supportive. So I love the idea of laughter. I love laughing. I just love laughing. I love getting the giggles. I love making people laugh and can relate to things that you do or say. I just think that is such a magical way of living your life. And so I kind of just, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. That's all I do. That's all I do. I don't do anything else.
Well, that's all anybody can really do, just give it their best shot. I think people
Yeah.
sometimes have this dream or passion, but they don't pursue it because of sometimes it's a
Fear.
financial thing or it's just fear. Yeah, like you said. And I think the best way, if people are in a good financial position, they have the means to do it, but they're just scared. I guess what would you say to someone like that? Just to kind of just to go for it, or is there any
Well,
specific
I
thing
think
you would
too,
say?
it's yeah. If it's something that they have, and it's something that they need to do, because a lot of people will start off wanting to act and wanting to get into the business and finding that I think I would like to write. I think I'm a better writer or a producer, or so there's so many facets to the business. So you don't have to. And I was just I just used the idea that I can make people laugh because everybody thought it was kind of funny and quirky and silly and all that kind of stuff. So I would hate to think that, and I know there are people that probably missed that. They missed that in their lives because of family because of something else that kept them in their way. And this is a really, really, really tough business. This is not, I mean, everybody looks at it and goes, oh my God, how glamorous and da 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 da. Da. Yeah, but you know what? There are a lot of people in the business that are not healthy, a lot of people in the business that have some it's just it's really hard to be said no to when you go to an audition. It's really hard when you want something and they don't pick you, and you know what I mean? You have to get back up and you have to try again. So this is not a business, for the person that really doubts themselves, or the person that can't take no for, a minute. And so it does. I think it really puts all of us, including myself, gosh, I still want to do this. Do am I ever going to be this again? Am I ever going to do something like this again? Or, well, let's see, let's think about what I've done. But now that I'm aging, which is like another part of the business, that makes it harder.
And you just have to adapt at the end of the day, right? You have to adapt and go with the times and understand that this goes for anybody. Let's say you're 50 or 6 years old, you're not how you were in your 20s. So you kind of have to, even as an actor, you got to adapt the way you play your characters and go about it, which actually brings me to my next question about you were also in the Groundlings, right? When you were
Yes.
younger. Yeah. And that's a place too where they kind of help you create characters and build off stuff
Oh,
as well, right?
best thing I ever did was to
Yeah.
get involved in the Groundlings. I didn't realize that I could improvise. And I love the art of it. I love that you have to listen, you have to work with somebody, but you can be whoever you want as long as it makes sense to the scene or to your partner or that kind of thing. And the Groundlings, I was at some other place first, and there were a couple people there that said, "Oh my God, you have to come to the Groundlings. You're so funny." And so I went there, and it was just some of the best times in my life. I mean, I still go, I still improvise, I direct improv over there sometimes. I may teach a class or two, but I've met so many wonderful people and I've learned so many things going to that program. And so I have no remorse at all. And, it's almost like you can't keep me away.
Yeah. One of the other guests I've had on, Chris Kattan, he was also a member of
Yeah,
the Groundlings as well. And
he
yeah.
was a student of mine.
No, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. In the day I had many, many students. I had Maya, I had um Cheri Oteri, I've had a lot of wonderful people that have gone to SNL.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean that's awesome. Lisa Kudrow was a friend of mine.
That's
Yeah, and
awesome.
I had
Yeah.
some of these people, that I worked with that were, definitely they were students, and it was just wonderful to see where they've gone with all the things that they've learned there, and they were wonderful. You watched them, you knew, oh my God, you're gonna hit good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, now it makes sense how you worked with all these people and you taught a lot of them because you're so fantastic and they're so fantastic. So it translates very well. You see, like all this stuff, you could tell the
Thank you.
collaborative effort because even though you taught them, I'm sure there's things that you learn from them too watching them because just as it doesn't matter how old you are or the age gaps, these people have also stuff they bring to the table and you go, wow, you know what? I didn't know they could do this, and then that's how you guys work together.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, collaboration is everything in the Groundlings, and it's all about giving them or seeing something that you can throw them something and what they can do with it like that. And I'm always like incredibly amazed about the students that come through and the ones that are really talented, really just sort of have it. And then some of them maybe, but it's such a delight to work with them, to get their confidence up, and to find out what their special talent is.
Absolutely. And you obviously went to playing some great things. I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, Frau Farbissina and the Austin Powers trilogy. That just became such an iconic character. Even just you screaming at the top of your lungs like Scott and doing all these funny things. The Spy Who Shagged Me is probably my favorite out of the three, even though they're all great. And it just happens to be the 25th anniversary this year for that film. One of the funniest scenes is when Dr. Evil drinks Austin Powers' mojo, and then you two have that little interaction there. How was that scene to film? Like, because I know Mike Myers, when you watch him, he's so funny, and I heard even
He
behind
makes
the
me
scenes,
laugh.
yeah. Like,
Yeah,
how did you do it?
he would just, I mean, the wonderful thing is he would make me laugh and I would make him laugh. So the first time I made him laugh was just a dream. And I met him at the Groundlings
Hmm.
and he was a guest and he performed. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And he thought it was really funny because I didn't know anything. I would get a suggestion and I would just, I don't know what that means, but all right, I'll do it. Um, and so, oh my God, yeah, that was so hard. I mean, here I am on the bed, and he's there, and all the things he does, and when he wants to try to make you laugh, just like anybody wants to try to make you laugh. So it was hard for me to, I had to really hold it back and stuff because the great thing is about films is you just keep doing them and doing them and doing the scene until it gets blah, blah. But I think the hardest one was when we did. I guess it was it the first one where I came in? I said I'm late.
Oh, that's
Was it,
part two, I think. I think that happens after that scene with the volcano erupting after.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, and yes, oh yes, and I couldn't. And he kept laughing because and I would be like, no, I'm late. And he would laugh, which was heaven. But then after a while, I couldn't look at him. I had to look like off to the side, like to his ear, because it was just the two of us, and we just would giggle, and that it was just such magic. I mean, it was just what I wonder. I wish I don't know what they did with all the boot
The bloopers, right?
the bloopers and stuff. I mean, I know it. But anyway, it was pretty funny.
If I can find some, I'll definitely try to implement it in this video so people can watch
Yes.
it
Oh my God, you
after.
should.
I gotta do some digging for that because even just watching it without the bloopers, you laugh because it's so outrageous. Like because I don't know, I just find it funny. Like and then the
It
next
is.
time,
It's insane. It's silly and stupid and insane. And when he does all this stuff, and I'm like trying to be serious. Uh, and no, it was just like, gosh, you hope that one of those comes around one more time, but I don't know.
well, all I can say is that those movies had a magic. Like I think one thing I always wish for like a another one or like a spin-off thing, but I'm always worried that like, and this was for any type of show or movie that they try to like redo or do another adaptation
Right.
for it, it's never gonna have that same magic. Like Austin Powers has that magic. Like I don't know, I think it just has something that a lot of other
It
series
does.
or
It
films
just,
doesn't
it
have.
was the timing. It was they were so beautifully written for all of these crazy things to happen. He he really had it was his time then, and the things that he put out and the things that he did. It was yeah, he's definitely someone to remember. And I know that everybody wants another one, and I know wants another one. I don't know where it is in terms of the production and writing and all that, but I just would love to do it before I die.
Oh, so you would, so you would do another one if they had it for sure,
Oh
right?
my God, if that was the only thing that I could ever do in the rest of my life after, yes.
Wow, that's. I hope they do it. I mean, like Mike Myers, whatever he does, like in terms of like writing or coming up with ideas, like he knows what people want. I think that's the most important thing, especially with
Yep.
like Wayne's World and even just with Shrek. Like even just I know
Oh,
going a little off topic about it, but with Shrek, like even just doing the Scottish accent that he
I
wanted to
know.
try, that was never supposed to be part of the script. And see how I brought that magic
Oh,
to it?
really?
Yeah,
He does know, he's like a silly young boy.
yeah,
Even he's older now, but he just likes to, giggle, and it's almost like he's tickling you.
yeah.
And I do. I just, I am absolutely 100% grateful for what
Hmm.
he's done to my career and what he's done to the world and what he's done to everybody I've worked with on that show. I mean, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, for sure. And going back to the Groundlings too, how you said you learned how to improv, and that really just kind of helped you create characters and all that stuff. I read online that 30 to 40% of the first Austin Powers was improvised. Is that true? And did you have a lot of creative freedom with that as well with the first film?
Well, I don't think there was a lot. The things that I was in, I might, might have done something here and there, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, he thought and the thing is about me yelling. I mean, it says in the script, and she yells. It's just the way I yell. I mean, my voice gets really screechy.
Yeah.
I have a big mouth, and so it just kind of worked. It wasn't like I did anything, interesting. And but we played a little bit. I know him and Seth did. They did a lot of that when it was like that was when I was on the set. That was the most improv I saw.
Mm-hmm. And that
Um,
must have been funny for you to witness too, just being there to
oh
witness all
God. I mean,
that.
both of them back and forth. It was just awesome. And so I would do a couple of little things here and there, but I wasn't there to change the script. I wasn't there to make it all about me. I was just so, especially the first one. Oh no, I'm whatever you want, whatever you want. And so if there were more moments in there, and well, he improvises a lot.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
Mike improvises a lot. You'll do like 4 or 5 takes, and each take is different.
I know. I can just imagine how that must be too. Like different, you could probably make a whole movie just with the
Yeah,
different takes.
yeah, seriously, seriously. So he would just constantly come up with different things, and and you could just you hear everybody, like everybody wants to laugh, like everybody on set, and we can't. And then the minute the director would say cut, then the laughter would go crazy. Everybody would be able to breathe again.
Yeah, of course. Oh my God, that's too funny. And another fun trivia thing that I'm not sure if you would know about it, but it's cool to ask because I never there's no definitive answer on it. But is it true that Jim Carrey was supposed to play Dr. Evil at first before Mike Myers taking on that?
I don't think so.
See, I don't know.
No,
I
because
read all these things
Mike
online.
wanted
I
to
don't
do
know.
it all.
Yeah,
No,
right?
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine, because then that would have been I mean, just him have been, yeah, because Mike wanted to do all of them, as far as I know. Why wouldn't
Hmm.
he? That's what he does. So I think that's wrong.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I read all these. That's why and it's funny. I go through a lot of sources. I do a lot of research for this stuff. And like, I saw like one said no, one said yes, one said, I'm like, I gotta ask Mindy about this because I'm like, I need to know the answer to this one because,
I don't, not that any of that I have heard, none of that. And I can't even imagine. I mean, if that was somebody threw that out, then, it was probably just a moment thought.
mhm,
But no, no, because, well, I think Dr. Evil was something that he wanted to do because it was part of, from SNL.
mhm.
And he was doing, Lauren. And so yeah, I don't know where that came out, but things, people will write things, so who knows.
That's why, yep. That's why it's nice to hear
Yeah.
from the source, right? So, and in terms of all the Austin Powers you've done, which, in your opinion, which one did you have the most fun on, had the most memories and most laughs? Which one? Was it just all of them collectively, or did you have one that was really stood out to you?
Well, I mean, they were all so wonderful and fun, and working with, different people. And then we had the last one with Rob. It just was, I think, for me, the first one that I did was, that was like the first big thing I did,
Hmm.
and when that started to take off, I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And so I was still a newbie. And then the second one was getting more comfortable. And by the third one, you were just, I can't believe that we're doing a third one. I can't believe that I'm in like a threesome. This doesn't happen. This
Hmm.
doesn't happen. And so, and then of course they've all done so well. So yeah, I mean, I do. I don't know if I have a real favorite. I mean, I love, if I watch them and stuff, I can remember when I see myself being there, what I was thinking, what I was doing. Um, I couldn't wait to come to, work. It was like, yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. And like beyond your iconic role in Austin Powers, your resume is so diverse and broad, and it's a huge list. It goes like through projects like The Grinch, iCarly, The Goldbergs, Grace and Frankie, doing and then animation like Monsters University, Minions, and more. So like you've dabbled in both. obviously like, animation and live action, right? How has your
Yeah.
experience in both of those shaped your approach to acting?
Well, I love doing it all. I love doing theater. I love doing film. Um, I and the voiceover stuff is I'm still learning. I'm still, going for it. I That is a wonderful experience to be a part of, um, just because of the comfort. And then you can do different things with your voice, but you're still acting, and there's still, a script there. So yeah, I'm so grateful again being able to say some of the things that I've done and that I've been asked to do have been really a delight for me. I mean, there isn't one thing I love more than the other.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I do. I love doing animation.
Yeah, I think because I don't know if you probably wouldn't know because I'm not like a known actor or anything, but like I started my acting career a couple years ago, and I would love to dabble in like voice acting, and I don't know. People say I have like a really funny voice, so I don't really hear it, but hey, if that helps me get some jobs in voice acting, I'll take it, right?
Well, I think it's, and we don't like to listen to ourselves.
Yeah, I,
You know,
I
if we're
don't.
if we're
Yeah.
just talking like ourselves, it's like, oh my God, that's me. But if you do something else, it isn't just a voice, but it's it's the whole thing that you're brought to. So you should take a class or something, because you would, first of all, you would love it.
Hmm.
And then, see what I mean. Why not? What have you got to lose?
Yeah, I've taken a couple classes for voice acting, more just like for regular film and TV. I've done a lot of classes, but the one thing I noticed about animation and like voice acting is that, which I was very, I guess the word is ignorant, because I was just, oh, like, make a funny voice, it shouldn't be that hard. There's so much that goes into it. The
Yes.
breathing techniques, your
Yes.
posture, this, that. I'm like, oh my
Yes.
goodness, it's so difficult, but I feel like the reward is large, and like it could be even bigger than regular film and acting. And that's one thing I want to ask you about, because I'll be honest with you, a lot of voice actors don't get the recognition that film and TV actors do. And I don't know why that is. And I'm not sure if there even is a reason for that, but I'm not sure if you've noticed that.
Well, it's definitely I guess a different part of, it's like commercials and stuff like that. It's a whole different, part of what we do.
Hmm.
Um, and but they make a boy, if there are people there that if that's all they do, that is, they can do three or four, you know, voices, in one film. And it's just, they've got it down, they've worked on it, they've made it their own. And you do, I think, more and more we are trying to, I mean, I think they're all wonderful. I sit in a room with people and I'm like, oh my God, how'd you do that? And blah, blah, blah. And I know. And then what happens is, a lot of times they'll do a film, but they'll ask for a big celebrity. And all they want is, people just want to hang out with them and talk to them and stuff, because these voiceover actors are so, so good. They're, they really are the cream of the crop. And um I think that, yeah, it's a shame, and I'm always just in awe of them.
Yeah, for sure. I think a reasoning I like kind of thought of too is because a lot of people don't know that an actor is voicing certain characters either. That's how well they do. Like for
Yeah.
example, there's I'm not sure if you know Billy West, who's like on
Yeah.
Futurama. Yeah, so he was on my show a couple weeks ago, and that's kind of like the reason he thought it too. He goes, because at first when I was watching the show as a kid, I never thought Billy West did Fry, Zoidberg, all these different people. And then obviously when I got older and I realized that, I go, when people meet you sometimes, like, do they not even realize you do all these characters? He's like, yeah. He's like, people just think I do Fry. And he's like, that's a thing. He's like, but you know what? He's like, I guess that makes my job like I've done a good job because I've embodied someone else, and you
Oh
can't even tell
yeah.
me. That's the whole point of voice
That
acting,
they
right?
have something, they know who you are. And then, because like I said, they can do so many different voices, and so you would not know, because that's what they can do with their voice, that's what they can do with their intention, that's what they can do in their acting, is is play those kind of roles. And you would know that, that happens. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for coming on today. It was such a pleasure and an honor to meet you.
Well, thank you. And thanks for thinking of me. I really appreciate it. And good luck to you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, okay?
Okay, you too. Bye
Okay,
bye.
bye-bye.